How does a ski from the 80s stack up against a ski from today? It's time for an 80s throwback day. I'm on my way to Windham Mountain, New York, and the snow is miserable. But today isn't about finding powder. A couple years ago, I did an 80s throwback day, and while it was really cool to buckle into my 1989 ski boots, I didn't directly compare my 80s skis to my current skis. Like putting an 80s ski on one leg and a current ski on the other. That's what I'm gonna do today, a more direct comparison. Oh, and how do I still fit into my 1989 ski boots? Sadly, I stopped growing when I was 12.
Now the tale of the tape. Manufactured in 1989, standing at 204 centimeters tall and weighing in at 2.9 pounds per ski with the binding, is the K2 KVC COMP 8.3 retail racing ski. And its opponent, manufactured nearly 30 years later in 2018, standing only 170 centimeters tall, but weighing in at a heavy 3.6 pounds per ski with the binding, is the head World Cup Rebels iSpeed Pro retail racing ski.
What's a retail racing ski? Well, if you're a consumer, it's basically the closest you can get to an actual racing ski without being a pro or junior racer. It's a really souped up sort of sports car version of a ski. Yeah, the snow situation is all man-made. Because I'm going half retro and half current day with the equipment, I'm doing the same thing with the clothes. Top half 2020s, then you go down 1980s. Except for the boots. My current Lang ski boots are the same size as my Lang ski boots from the 1980s. They're only a little bit smaller, but they fit into the 1980s bindings fine. Because I'm not doing any kind of crazy skiing today, I'm going to try and make it work. That way I don't have to switch back and forth between my old Lang boots and my current boots. But I did bring them and I had them stowed away in the back of the car just in case I need to make the switch. Before a direct comparison with one ski on each leg, I'm going to do a few runs with each pair of skis separately, starting with my head skis. This is what I use all the time, so it should be very familiar. My normal turns, hold the edge well. They're a great pair of skis. Alright, this is what I'm used to. Nice, easy carved turns. Just need to put a little bit of pressure on your ski and it holds the edge very nicely. And it's a good test because the slopes are a little bit icy. They actually be a little bit unfair when I break out the 80s skis because they haven't been tuned since the 80s. So what are the reviews for the head skis? I could really only find one review, Pro Ski Lab. They called it a good ski, but lacking the oomph of its race-inspired rivals. They recommended it for intermediate to very good skiers who love medium turns and want to up their performance. What? I love these skis. I think they're awesome. I agree more with a guy named Peter who left a comment on the review asking, not sure what the level of skier writing the review was, but the ski is great. Super easy handling in long and short turns. Definitely a ski for an advanced to expert skier. I totally agree. These skis are awesome. I've done a lot of sampling of skis before I bought a pair, and this was my favorite. Back to the car to pick up my 80s skis and make the switch. We're going full 1980s. I didn't pick these skis up at a consignment store. These are legitimately my skis from the 80s. I worked as a summer camp counselor and spent my entire summer earnings on these skis. All right, so decided to take these on the beginner intermediate slope first because I want to get used to how they turn. They definitely feel a lot heavier, sluggish, getting them around. I can't believe I used to ski on these. First run on the K2s was a bit challenging. It felt like I was driving a truck. I guess that's the best way to describe it. It was hard to initiate the turn, and then once I was in the turn, the ski went where it wanted to go. It didn't help me out of the turn. How did the critics at the time view these skis? Actually, pretty favorably. They are legendary skis. In 1989, Snow Country magazine described them as a model to be treasured. They said it performed well in long turns, but its strong suit was to cut short, round arcs with a firm finish. Definitely more stable, I think, when you're going straight, but the turning is just so difficult compared to the head skis. I'm going to take a nice on the edge. Oh, ski went out straight. My biggest observation after 2 runs on the K2s is that you really have to concentrate, and while the ski is okay on helping you get into the turn, pay attention to your technique to finish the turn. Time for the direct comparison, 1 ski on each leg. But first, check out the height difference here. It's crazy. I don't know how I'm gonna manage these different lengths on each leg. Just sitting on the lift, this looks a little crazy. I've never seen 2 skis so different looking on my legs at the same time. I'm starting with the 80 ski on my right foot because that's my dominant foot, and since I have to concentrate so much to get this thing to turn, I figure it's better to start out that way. Pretty decent, but that's because the slope is very shallow right now. So I'll pick up a little bit more speed, see how it goes. The left is nice, what I'm used to, right? Okay right now. Left, the ski just turns perfectly. I really got to get the right ski on the edge to get that turn. So far, so good. I don't really notice that much of a difference yet. But this is going to be a left turn on my current ski. A little icy, but navigated it well. Now let's do a right turn on the 80 ski. Yeah, see, it was tough. Started to initiate, but the ski didn't want to turn. I wasn't in the right position. So here comes another right turn. Let's see how it goes. Much better, but it was a wider turn and I had to concentrate. A lot more work. It was a lot more work to get that turn done. So right now it's a little bit straight. Let's just do some quick turns. I definitely feel a lot more power out of the 80 ski on that turn. When you get it on this edge, probably because it's a lot longer, man, you just feel that. Left ski, the current ski, not a lot of power when I turn, but it's also pretty icy, so it's tough to hold an edge. Get down here in a little better light. Let's see how it goes. Definitely, there's a lot more power in that right ski on a turn. As long as you get it right, as long as you got the good technicals and nail the turn, it works out well. The first run directly comparing the 2 skis was far better than I thought. What I did notice is that the head ski, the ski from today, was much easier to initiate a turn on, but when I did properly focus and turn the old K2 ski on its edge, I felt a lot more power and a lot more grip in the mountain than I did with the head ski. The problem is, I have a hard time on the finish of the turn with the K2 ski. It just wants to take off on its own. So I need to get back into 80 ski mode in order to make these skis work. And I don't want to do that because I love the head skis. They're so simple to turn. Here we go. That's the straight edge on the 80 ski that I caught. These are 2 dramatically differently shaped skis. So the ski one is going to take a different skill set than the other. So you really just have to concentrate on which skill set you're using when you're alternating legs. It's kind of an interesting exercise. So ultimately the conclusion is 2 different skis, 2 different skill sets. Kind of challenging to ski with 1 on each leg, but a little bit of fun to do it. Definitely like the power behind the K2 ski from the 80s, but prefer the ease of turn of the head ski from today. What you do, ooh.